Hello everyone, my name is Pat, and today I'm bringing you guys my April wrap up. So, for the month of April, it was actually very slow. I only read a total of 6 books. Right now, I only have five because one I already returned. The first one, which is the one I first returned, is Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. Now, this book is a 5 out of 5 stars for me, and it actually took me a while to read this. Not because, again, I didn't like it. Not because I didn't like it, because obviously I liked it a lot. It's just that I've been really busy. So, yeah, it's been really crazy. Uh, anyway, I rated it as a 5 out of 5 stars. Now, I had pretty low expectations, or like, I was disappointed with the second book. So I was definitely hoping that this third book, the final book in the trilogy, if you guys didn't know, this is part of the Winter Night trilogy. The first of which is The Bear Nightingale, and the second is The Girl in the Tower. Now, The Girl in the Tower I was very disappointed with because I felt like nothing really happened. And although the writing was still beautiful and it was like, it's still very atmospheric, I feel like plot wise, we didn't really get a lot. I don't know if that's just me, but I felt like there was a lot that we missed. Like, I didn't really get a lot from the book. But this book is fast paced, it's full of adventure, and again, it's still just as magical and atmospheric and beautiful as the first one. So it was really something that I enjoyed. I'm now actually very excited to read more of Catherine Arden's work because she just writes very beautifully and I really enjoyed it a lot. And overall, I will definitely recommend the trilogy. The second book was a little iffy. It felt like a lot of second books feel like filler for the final part where everything goes down and everything happens. And that happened with this series. So I was really disappointed. But I don't know if that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, the second book that I read for the month of April is this one. This is Grey Sister by Mark Lawrence. And oh gosh, I rated it as a 5 out of 5 stars. It's so good. The first book was amazing. The second book was even better because we really delve into how they are now, how they are so far, and with everything that happened in the first book. Again, as this is the second book in a series, I don't want to give away anything, but this is pretty much about Nona Gray. If you guys didn't know what it's about, I don't know where you've been, but this is about Nona Gray. She gets into this convent where girls are trained to be pretty much assassins. They have different ways to be trained. They're not just assassins to kill people. There's a lot of different trainings underneath that too. And in the start of this book, she is being convicted for murder or attempted murder. And she gets saved by this abbess, and she goes into this convent called the Sweet Mercy, and she has all these other girls too that are being trained to be assassins. And that's pretty much her story, and who she is, finding out her abilities, what she can do, why it's so important for this abbess to get her and all that. And in this world, it's a fantasy world, and the world is ending pretty much, and it's been ending for a few hundred years. A lot of the world is ice, and the more that the moon is getting closer, I think that's it, the moon is getting closer. I'm really bad at this, but pretty much the ice is getting bigger around the world, and eventually they're all going to be covered in ice and all that, and they live in that world, plus all the politics and all that. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. What I really appreciate about this, just like what I said in the first book, is that we don't just follow a character who's already known that, oh, she's really good and all that, and she's already very good. It doesn't take long, or we fast forward to her being really good at it. We actually follow them a little bit, learning and making mistakes and not being good at something, or realizing that not everything is going to be a very easy path to being good and being the assassin that they're meant to be. So I really enjoyed this book. I can't wait to get to Holy Sister. I'm still pretty much behind on my library, but I'm very, very hopeful that I will get to this, and definitely know that I will love that. The world is amazing, and the characters, you can't help but love the characters too, especially the friendships and all that, and I really appreciate that too. And we still get some of the girls who are a little catty and all that. But Nona herself, I really like her as a character. She's very detached, but that doesn't mean that she's one of those, regular girls who are just not like the other girls and all that. No, she has her own circle. She's figuring out her own things and all of that. And I really enjoy this book and the characters and the world and just all of it. I highly recommend, 5 out of 5 stars. Did I mention that? The second 2 books that I read are part of a series of novellas, and that is the first 2 books in the Wayward Children trilogy, which is actually the second and third books in the Wayward Children series, that trilogy. And those are Dawn Among the Sexy Bones and Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shannon Maguire. I read this one after the other, and I actually read pretty much 50% of both books in audiobook because I was really busy with everything that's going on with the house and moving and all that. So just having that access to an audiobook as well was just, it made reading all of these really fast. And I mean, these are novellas. These are all under 200 pages, both under 200 pages. And just, I really enjoyed this. I devoured this. I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. That Amongst Some Bones and Beneath the Sugar Sky, I think it's 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. I loved the first book, and I really enjoyed seeing if you guys didn't know, Wayward Children series is about we're following these children who gets lost into different worlds. You know how children sometimes get lost, and sometimes people don't know where they go, and suddenly they just appear, and it's like nothing happened, or something else happened, but they were only gone for a few hours. So in different worlds, they're not going to the same world. They're all going to different worlds, and all these worlds have different rules. They're still trying to figure out actually what these worlds are and how they work, and what opens the door or where the door will lead you, because pretty much everyone's world is going to be different from another. Or they might be the same depending on what they need as kids and all that. And yeah, I really enjoy this book because we are following these characters. The first book, we're following a character that has come back from the world that she came to, and pretty much most of these kids want to go back to those worlds, and for only a small amount of them are able to go back to their worlds, and the rest have to reacclimate to this world and readjust and relearn how to live in this world, because again, for some of them, they spent a lot of time in that world, and for some of them, they didn't really get lost for that amount of time. For some people it is the same, but for the most part, there's a lot of that. And with these worlds and these experiences that they have, definitely they changed. So there's a lot of they will change. There is something that will change about who they are and what they can do based on their experiences and what they learned in the world that they went to. So we're just following that, and that's the first book. The second book, we're following Jack and Jill, who we're introduced to in the first book, and now we're following them in that world that they went to and their experiences and how those experiences kind of explain their decisions and their choices and who they were in the first book. And I'm actually very interested to go back to their stories because we still don't know what happened to them. So I'm very excited for the last book. I think that's the last book. We're still following Jack and Jill, and definitely they're probably like my most favorite characters now. I mean, they're not the best from who we've known, but they're the most interesting, and they're just the ones that we follow. So the next book is Beneath the Sugar Sky, and this book we're following some of the people that we met in the first book too. And this one I didn't really like as much as the first two. I feel like I didn't really connect with the characters, and I felt a little, detached. Honestly, I still care about the characters, obviously, but we're following now someone who actually belongs to that world, the world that one of the children goes to. Her name is Sumi. She goes to find her mother, Rini. Oh no, Rini. That's the name of the character that we're following, and her mother is Sumi, which is one of the kids who get lost in the other world. And she's just the daughter, and so something's happening to her, and she wants to find Sumi to help her to help Rini stop whatever's happening to her, because she's disappearing pretty much. So yeah, they enlist the help of the other characters here as well to find her mother and to do something about what happened. And although I still really enjoy this, I just didn't feel as attached. I definitely enjoyed seeing who was the first character? I definitely enjoyed seeing her world, the one that we follow in the first book, because that was very interesting. And she's also one of the people who want to go back because she preferred that world over this. And yeah, so overall, I still really enjoyed these books, and I can't wait to read the last one. I believe, is it the last one? Oh no, the next one is going to be In an Absent Dream, and the next one will be Come Tumbling Down, which is going to be released next year, which is great because I definitely want more from this world. These are very short stories, and the thing about this is that they don't feel like they're lacking. Like, I wanted more. Definitely I want more because we're following like different kinds of fantasy worlds. Obviously, to me, that's very like, for someone who loves fantasy, that's very interesting. So I definitely want more from the world and from the characters and all of that, but it doesn't feel like we're missing a lot. Nor does it feel like one of those short stories that are forced to be short stories when, or like novellas that are more like short stories, you know? So the next book that I read for this month is, for last month, is Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now, I heard a little mixed things about this book, so I was very hesitant to go into it, but it sounds so intriguing. And this is about Sawyer Taft, who didn't know that whose estranged grandmother showed up at her apartment, offered her a 6-figure contract in exchange for being part of a debut in a society where her mother was from. And it's like super posh and super like extravagant and all that. Yeah, and she wants to find out who her father is, and definitely her father is definitely one of the people who were part of her mother's debutante year too. So it's high society, there's drama, there's a lot of secrets, there's a lot of things that people don't know about, and you know, other people that don't really want to talk about. Like, there's a lot of scandal too, and she's part of that because her mother runs away because her mother got pregnant at like 17, I think. So her mother is a little, you know, she takes care of her mother. And that's not a spoiler, it's actually, we talk about that in the first like 20 pages. She's pretty much taking care of her mother because her mother's a little bit flighty. That's what I want to call her. I didn't expect, maybe because I didn't really have high expectations, or because I heard, you know, a lot of people didn't really enjoy this book, but I really enjoyed this a lot. The drama, the high stakes, all the blackmailing and the secrets and all that, I really enjoyed it. And with Sawyer, because she didn't grow up in this world, and she's more of someone who you would call an optimistic, a pessimistic. She's, you know, she doesn't get these people with this facades and all that, or she gets frustrated and she's just straightforward and she's like, I'm a scandal, so what? Who cares, you know? You know, she has this I don't care attitude, but it doesn't really get on your nerves. She's not one of those, oh, I'm better than all of these people. She's just like, you have your own business, I have my own. Please go away. You know, that kind of thing. And I really like that about her character. She's not annoying, like she's not trying to be the opposite of everyone else. She just is. And, you know, she doesn't really care. Like, she cares, but she doesn't really, you know, get into too much into it. You know, she has her goals, she has all that, she knows who she is, and in the end, you know, she realizes she's not like super against this world, and she's not like super negative about it in the beginning as well. And she's not like, ugh, these people with all their stuff and all their drama, like, oh, I'm so tired of it, like, she's not like that, which I really appreciated. She was still pretty open-minded to everything that happened, but what she didn't like, and she compromised, or she, you know, made deals with people and to get her own way, or to get what she feels comfortable with. And she's, you know, I really like that about her. And yeah, I really like this. What did I rate this? I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. This is a very fast read. I devoured this book. I would say it's a light read. Not that it's fluffy, but in that it's super fast to read. It's definitely not light, because we're dealing with a lot of scandals in here. And yeah, so it was just... yeah, but the thing that I didn't really enjoy about this book, one thing that I didn't really enjoy is the ending. I felt very rushed. Like, I wanted a little bit more from the characters that we've come to know and we've come to care about and we've come to really just, you know, want to follow. And I wanted more from the ending, and it just felt like everything got resolved pretty, like, you know, like, yeah, everything's fine, all that. But seeing as there will be second book, if not 3 books, let me just check. I'm checking. There's gonna be a second book that's gonna be published this year. I'm very excited to know what we're going to get, and, you know, seeing where these people are going to be after everything that happened in this book, because a lot of things happen. A lot of things. Okay, so yeah. So the last book that I read for this month is The Second Life of Ava Rivers by Faith Gardner. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Now, this was also a really fast read for me. I enjoyed this a lot. This is about Via Rivers, who lost her sister when she was 6. Her sister was named Ava, and her sister is actually her twin sister. She lost her twin sister during Halloween, and they never found her. At 18, she has decided to go to a different state, study college there, and just walk away from everything that happened, because her whole family just became like the family who lost a sister. Oh, a daughter. So it was just all that. There's a lot of police officers, investigators, and paparazzi and news reporters and all that. She just wanted to go far away. But then a few days before she goes to Portland, Oregon, where she wanted to go, they find her sister. She suddenly turns up into a hospital. She was malnourished. She had hazy memories of everything that happened, and the story is just her family getting to know Ava again and what happened to her, and just accepting her back into their lives. Well, obviously they wanted her back, but it's just having her readjust to her life, and just really knowing who Ava was now, and how her experiences has affected her and all that. And I really enjoyed this. Now, I felt like the last part was a little bit rushed. Like there's something that happens. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it, but there's something that happens, and I feel like we didn't really resolve it. We kind of fast forward to what happened after, and I wanted to know more about the character Ava and everything that happened to her, and the family's aftermath, with everything. And yeah, I just wanted to learn more. It felt a little rushed, and this is like 350 pages. We could have gotten probably 50 more pages to just really deal with everything that happened. So yeah, I was just a little bit disappointed with that. But overall, 4 out of 5 stars. Still really liked it. So yeah, that is all of the books that I read for this month. I can't believe that this month is over. We're going to May. It's actually May now. And actually the month of April is a pretty good reading month in terms of my readings for the books. I didn't really have any 3 stars, just 4 stars, 4.5, 5 stars books, which is really good. I definitely could have read more, but Winter of the Witch took me 2 weeks. I don't know what's up with that, but it took me 2 weeks to read that. Anyway, so that is it for all of the books that I read for this month. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have read these books, tell me what you guys think, if you agree with what I said. And if you're reading them right now, tell me your thoughts. And if you're planning on reading them, I hope you enjoy them as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching. You can check out some of my other videos right here, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!